The first time Lena felt the house breathing, she told herself it was only the wind. The old wooden floorboards, the thin window panes, the long empty corridors, everything in the cabin invited echoes. But on their third night in the isolated mountains, the sound no longer felt like wind. It felt rhythmic, wet, almost alive. She and Aaron had come here to fix things between them. A last attempt, a retreat far from the city, away from everyone and everything that had pulled them apart. The brochure promised a peaceful cabin, a fireplace, and long walking trails, perfect for reconnecting. But the moment they entered, Lena felt a strange heaviness settle in her throat, as if the place whispered something they weren't meant to hear yet. The cabin had one odd feature: a narrow wooden door in the living room, sealed with an iron latch. A warning sign was carved into it, old and splintered, the words barely readable. "Do not open when you are not alone." Aaron joked that it was probably a pantry. Maybe they had raccoons, he laughed. But Lena could not ignore the sensation that the door watched her, like an eye half open, waiting for someone reckless enough to lift the latch. The first 2 days were peaceful. They hiked, they cooked, they talked more than they had in months. Aaron seemed lighter, as if leaving the city had finally allowed him to breathe again. Lena started to hope, but at night, the breathing of the house returned. Slow, raspy inhalations, coming from the walls, no, from behind them. When she pressed her ear against the cold wooden planks, she swore she heard whispering beneath the breaths, soft and pleading. "Let us see, let us out, let us be together." On the fourth night, she woke to find Aaron standing in the middle of the living room, eyes unfocused, staring directly at the sealed door. "Aaron," she whispered. He didn't answer. The flickering orange of the fireplace cast his shadow across the door, merging it with the darkness around the latch, making it look like something was pressing back from the other side. "It wants to open," Aaron murmured. Lena grabbed his arm. "Come back to bed." He blinked as if waking from a trance. "Yeah, sorry. Must have been sleepwalking." But Lena knew he had never sleepwalked in his life. The next morning, scratch marks appeared at the bottom of the sealed door. Long, desperate marks, as though fingernails had clawed from inside. Aaron insisted it must have been there before. Lena was not convinced. That evening, the air thickened with an odd warmth, almost human, like the breath of someone standing too close. Even Aaron stopped joking. They stayed near the fireplace, silently listening to the house exhale around them. When night fell, the fog outside rolled across the windows like pale fingers. Lena felt something shift in the atmosphere, an unspoken decision being made by the house itself. Aaron disappeared shortly after midnight. One moment he lay beside her in bed. The next, she woke to cold sheets and faint footsteps. Panic shot through her as she ran to the living room. He was there again, standing before the sealed door. Only this time, the latch hung loose, as if someone had carefully slid it open. "Aaron, stop," Lena shouted. He didn't react. His eyes were fixed on something Lena could not see, something just beyond the crack between the door and its frame. "Aaron, look at me." He inhaled shakily. "It's beautiful," he whispered. The door creaked open by an inch. A wet, glistening eye stared back. Not human, not animal, something else. Something that shimmered like it was made of flesh stretched too thin, glowing faintly from within, like a lantern crafted from skin. Lena froze. Another eye appeared beside it. Then another, and another. A cluster of watching, hungry orbs, all blinking in unison. They pulsed, reflecting the glow of the fireplace with a sickly golden sheen. The eyes weren't just looking. They were studying, as if trying to remember the shape of a human face. "Aaron," Lena whispered, her voice trembling. "Step away." But Aaron smiled gently. "They said they can help us. They can fix us. Together." The floorboards shook as something huge shifted behind the door, its many eyes dilating, eager. The whispering returned, louder than ever, voices layered upon voices. "We can make you one. We can make you whole. Come together." Lena grabbed Aaron's arm to pull him back, but his skin felt feverishly hot, pulsing like a heartbeat under her hand. The eyes multiplied in the opening, spreading outward like roots of a glowing tree. "Aaron, look at me," she shouted. For a moment, he did. And his eyes, his human eyes, looked terrified. "Lena," he whispered, "don't let them take me." Then the door flung open. A mass of sinewy limbs and glowing eyes surged forward, not fast, but inexorable, like something that had waited centuries and finally decided to claim what was offered. Its touch wrapped around Aaron's torso, pulling him toward its warm, pulsating core. Lena screamed and dug her nails into his arm, pulling with all her strength. For an instant, it felt like she might succeed. But the creature whispered softly, soothingly, its voice echoing through the room like a lullaby underwater. Aaron relaxed. He let go of Lena's hand. And he stepped willingly into the glowing mass. The door slammed shut. Everything fell silent. Lena collapsed to her knees, her breath shaking, the heat of the creature still lingering in the room, clinging to her like mist. She pounded the door, screaming Aaron's name, but the cabin only breathed back, slow, patient, satisfied. Hours passed, or maybe minutes. Time twisted oddly in the silence. Finally, the door creaked again. Lena backed away. A hand slowly reached out. But it wasn't Aaron's. It was similar, but wrong, longer, smoother, with too many joints. Something stepped into the light, its silhouette like a figure assembled from two overlapping bodies, moving as one. And when it spoke, its voice drifted with two layers, Aaron's voice resting beneath another, deeper one. "Lena," it said softly. "We can be together now." The creature smiled with Aaron's mouth, and with several other mouths that blinked open along its torso. Lena ran. She never looked back, but the forest echoed with voices behind her, whispering with every breath of the wind. Together, together, together.